Over the past 4 years, there have been more than 6,500 injuries in New South Wales workplaces because of poor handling or storage of hazardous chemicals. 8 people died and more than 250 are now permanently disabled. I think that people in the manufacturing industry don't safeguard themselves properly when using hazardous chemicals because of a lack of information and a lack of knowledge. It's very easy for a worker on the shop floor to understand the risks associated with, let's say, using a circular saw. It's a lot harder for a worker to realise that by decanting one product from one container to another container, that they're going to potentially be engulfed in fire or involved in an explosion. An incident that I am aware of that happened in the manufacturing industry involving a hazardous chemical was when a couple of people were decanting toluene, which is a solvent, flammable liquid, from one container to another. The container receiving the toluene didn't have the appropriate anti-static wire in place to allow the static electricity that's generated when the product's moved to go safely to Earth. As a result, the static electricity built up to a point where it discharged as a spark and ignited the flammable vapours. The result was a fire. The worker was significantly impacted, suffering severe burns which required long and often painful treatment. Not only is there physical scarring, but there's psychological injuries that are associated with burns. So as well as the physical injuries that can occur, there are the long-term exposure issues that can have an adverse impact on a person's health. So exposure to chemicals can lead to premature organ failure, lung disease, kidney failure, liver failure, and all those nasty things that you really don't want to happen to you. That can be prevented if people are not exposed to hazardous chemicals. Don't be complacent. Get to know the chemicals you're using. Use the safety data sheets, read the labels, understand the hazard statements. Get as much information as you possibly can so you can put in place appropriate control measures before actually using the chemicals. You need to identify the hazards, assess the risks, control those risks, but more importantly as well, review those control measures from time to time.